Hey guys, it's Alice and welcome to another video. I was struggling to see if I'm going to get this out this week, and to be honest with you, it may not go up till next week and you guys will get a double treat. This week has been crazy. I worked psychic fair yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to film on Friday because I was out with my husband, and I didn't get a chance to film on Saturday because I was working psychic fair and I was doing Reiki and readings, so that was double the energy being spent. But it was cool and it was a lot of fun. So I was trying to think about what we could do this week that would be different, and I came up with the idea of, well, let's have a reading because I haven't had a reading done in a really long time. So I reached out to one of our practitioners who actually is my Reiki master teacher. She taught me Reiki 1, Reiki 2, and master level. She is one of my favorite spiritual teachers, and she's a very dear friend of mine and a spirit mama, which you guys don't know this, but I have a lot of spirit mamas who I hold very near and dear to my heart, who I absolutely love, and the lady, Mrs. C, who did this reading for me is one of those ladies. It's cool to connect with her in that way. She's always been a guiding force for me and has been there through a lot of stuff. So what we're going to do, the reason why I have ear piercings in is because I'm going to listen to the audio. This is just audio only of their actual reading, because some practitioners don't feel comfortable with having their readings put out on the internet. So we came to an agreement and she let me audio record the reading so I could make this video for you guys today. So that's why you won't actually see video of her doing the actual reading. It's just out of respect for her. And something that you guys should know is, when you have readings done, you can ask the practitioner if you can record it, but at least have enough respect for that person to say, hey, I would like to record this for me to listen and play back. A huge thing. If you can have the ability to record them and listen to them back, because you don't always get all of the messages and the meanings behind everything until you replay it later. So that's just a hint for you guys. Secondly, if you tend to use the video or the recordings for anything other than your personal use, i.e. putting it out on the internet, make sure the practitioner knows and are aware, because some people don't want that broadcasted. So I just wanted to leave that with you guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to the audio together, and I'm going to kind of elaborate and stop in some places and just talk about some of the things that she hits on. So this should be fun. It's going to be different. Of course, this is in Alice's diary. The other thing, the reason why I wanted to share this to you guys too, because, goodbye Clee. Clee just jumped out of my lap. It's beneficial to listen to other people's readings, because sometimes there's something in one person's reading that will resonate with you and may give you a message of your own while you're listening to it. Especially when you're in group reading sessions. I guess we can kind of equate that to like oh heck, what was that guy's name? Or that girl, I think she's on TLC, Lisa somebody or whatever, Long Island Medium. When you're in that kind of setting, you can still receive messages and guidance from other people's messages that Spirit's bringing forth for them. So if you have an opportunity to listen to somebody else's reading and see where their guidance is coming from, you can also gain guidance and clarity for yourself. So with that said, let's go ahead and get this started.
This is good.
Okay.
Right off the bat, your husband's going to get a promotion or a better job or something like that. Somewhere along the line.
Okay.
Pretty soon.
That's not surprising.
Hmm?
That's not surprising.
Mm. This is surprising either. That's just you.
Yes, actually my husband possibly will hopefully be getting a promotion or a raise at his job. He's worked very, very hard, and the idea has been floating around in the owner and management's minds to possibly make him a manager at the restaurant. Again, that's not set in stone. We don't know, but for her to say something like that is true and very close to target. So we shall see what happens in the coming weeks and months to see if that manifests for him, because he really does deserve that.
This just shows that you're a unified you're a good couple. You're a good match. But this, see what she's looking at here? Okay, that signifies somebody that can look into the future.
Okay.
She's looking into the future when she's looking into that. So you have him. He's going to get a promotion. And he's a good worker, so he should.
Mm-hmm.
And you have you, who has the wonderful gift of looking in.
Yes, my husband and I, we are a perfect match. He is awesome. And we have so much love and respect for each other. Our relationship, I think, is very different. We met when I was 17 and he was 18. And our whole situation of meeting is quite different. And maybe one day I will do a video, you know, talking about how Chris and I did meet. But yeah, that's a pretty magical story in its own right, and it is divine order, and he is my perfect match. I do not say he's my better half or I'm his better half, because each one of us are whole on our own. So we just tend to complement each other and become each other's other part of a whole, if that makes any sense.
To the future. And that's great. And the Queen of Cups also. Cups are about emotion.
Okay.
See the water, how calm it is?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Your emotions.
She is right. My husband is a hard worker. He's very dedicated to his job and what he does. And she says I can look into the future, and that is a thing. I always set my sight for what's coming next. What do I need to do to get to the next step? I do have, I don't want to say overactive emotions, but I do get very sentimental. And when I see things like people hurting, I hurt with them. That's part of being an empath. I have been working very hard to differentiate my emotions from somebody else's. So my solar plexus is extremely overactive and can get a little crazy sometimes, and I do show a lot of emotion towards things that I'm passionate about. So I know that I do need to work towards calming that, because not everything needs such a passionate response from me.
They're going to stay calm longer.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna practice calming that second chakra, where our emotions are, and it's like a pond. So if anything's choppy, like wind blowing across it, or it's not smooth, even if you just drop one little pebble on it, the whole thing ripples out. And that's what our emotions do to us physically. So you're working on really keeping that pond nice and smooth, and you're doing a good job.
Yeah, that actually is something that I have been working on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, King of Swords is your dad. Your dad's going to be in a better place.
Good.
He's been crouchy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the best word I can think. He's just been really crouchy about stuff. He's going to be better.
Good.
I don't know why he was had so much distemper, but he's moving out of it. So that's fine, because we don't need him stirring up anything.
No.
Or throwing out any negative. I don't know why he did in the first place, because nothing that happened was that darn exciting. I mean, maybe to him it was, you know.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about like the last month, you know.
Yeah.
I know before that there were some big things, but just in the last few weeks, there's nothing been happening that should upset him. But I think what it is once he gets in that negative place,
No, we do not need him stirring up anything else.
hard time getting out. He has to work his way out of it. So while he's working his way out of it, all of a sudden, this is wrong, that's wrong, you know.
Yeah.
And then he finally gets to the point where he's worked through all, he's kind of swam through all that mess, and he's on solid ground again. And he's like, oh, I did do a good job, Nancy. Okay. So that's coming. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Also coming this is a card for family harmony.
Okay.
And it's showing people being kind to each other.
Oh, good.
So you're going to have the opportunity to be in an environment where you...
Yes, my dad has been a little off lately, but a lot of people have been off, especially what's been going on with the lemon. We'll call it, well, instead of saying the C word, we'll say the lemon. And things have been, crazy here. It's crazy for you, and my dad is 100% Virgo. So he tends to fly off the handle, as do I. I am 100% Virgo. And I very much share that Virgo mentality with my dad. So she is absolutely right with him being a little bit crouchy. But again, that has a lot to do with the energies that are happening right now. He does tend to go into depressions, and it takes him a little while to come out, and he doesn't always realize that he's in that state of mind. So again, she's correct 100% about him needing to work through things on his own. And then he eventually comes out and realizes that it really wasn't as bad as it presented itself to be.
Family, now this is your immediate family, not just your
Right.
immediate, where people are going to start being kinder to each other. Not that they've ever really been mean, but everybody's in your family group is moving towards a better state of well-being.
Okay.
So
That's a good thing.
yes, and when you're in that state of well-being, it's easier to be kind and to think of other people.
Okay.
When things are happening to you, or that, like I said, that little pond in there is like throwing up big waves,
Mm-hmm.
you can't, that's where your attention is. You can't turn your attention to, oh, I think I'll help her out.
Right.
Or, oh, that looks like something I'm going to buy that for. You're not there. You can't be there. You can't be both places. So all that is kind of calming down, and people are getting to that stage where they feel secure. They feel everything's going to work out fine, that they're going to have all the resources they need, and they're starting to feel a little kinder towards each other, which is just, it's another aspect of love.
Mm-hmm.
If they were dismissive, it wasn't because they didn't love each other. It's just they had other things
Right.
going on, and it's just hard. It's hard. Some people can, walk through the valley of shadow and still have time to stop and help the beggar.
Now, I do want to mention here, we do have a very interesting family dynamic. Everybody, my immediate family, we all love each other. We all actually live in one home together. It's my dad and my dad's husband. Yes, my dad is gay. I am very proud of him for that. I do hope to do an Alice's Diary at some point, kind of talking about that. But yes, it's my dad, my dad's husband, my biological mother, me, and my husband all live together in one house. And again, tensions have been tight. It's been tight for everybody. It's not just our family, it's everybody's family. But the last 2 years, my family has been under immediate stress. Like, it's been one thing right after the other. There's been divorces, there's been court issues, it's just been crazy things happening in our lives right now. So even though we love each other and we've been in harmony and we make this situation work for all of us, tensions do run high. But again, with a family as big as ours and as unique as ours, it's going to happen.
Or the sick person, or the child.
Right.
Most people just have to walk through it. They can't do anything else.
Yeah.
All right? There's going to be justice. There was one thing that you felt was missing in your life, and that was justice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not going to be in a courtroom, even though this is a judge. But justice for us, which is why we don't judge, because we know the universe judges.
Mm-hmm.
And the universe disperses justice in the form of karma.
Right.
So you're going to live to see justice done.
Good. That's the
Yeah.
only thing that I wanted.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be good. It's not going to be as satisfying as you thought it would be at the beginning, but I think you're starting to understand that even if you never saw justice, you could get over this.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So it's not going to be the thing that you thought you needed in the beginning. And these people are so unaware of the world and how it works that when these things start to happen to them, they're not going to understand what the source of it was.
Okay.
So they may not be able to connect the dots, but you'll know right away.
Okay.
All right. So you're not going to get that. You're not going to get anybody calling up and apologizing.
Right.
Or anybody saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry, we talked about you or did this or that," because they're unaware.
Mm-hmm.
They can't see it. It's not because they want to withhold it from you. They can't see it.
And that's just it. Karma hits when you least expect it, and you don't always make the connection as to why you're dealing with something until later. What she is talking about here is a situation that happened, I guess it was 2.5 years ago. There was a wrong that was done, and it affected a lot. We ended up losing our house because of it. We lost family, turned their backs on us without even really knowing the whole story. I don't want to go too much onto it here about it, but I did kind of reference this a little bit in Faith and Flashlights. Faith and Flashlights was written right in the thick of this. So that's what this is referring to, is that situation. And it's not that I want revenge. What I want is for the wrong to be righted. What she's saying here is the wrong that needs to be righted isn't going to be righted the way that I want it to be righted. And that's fine, because I don't control things. The universe has laws. If you break those laws, karmic laws, natural law, physical laws, you will reap rewards or consequences. It's not my job to send out those consequences. That's the universe's. And maybe we'll do a video on natural law, and I'll kind of explain some of these laws to live by, and how the universe deals out its injustices or rewards and punishments.
They just can't. So you can't expect them to react to something they can't see.
Right.
Okay. See this?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to fight that battle anymore.
Okay.
You're soft-hearted.
Yeah.
When you see things that you think are not right, you feel like you have to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the things in life right now that are happening are being caused by this dimensional change.
Right.
We've got people in the third dimension that are holding on to dear life, to those constructs of you have to use violence to control people. You have to lock people up. You have to make...
She is right. I do not have to fight that battle anymore. I'm at the point now where I have gained a sense of peace from it. I understand why it had to happen. If this particular situation would not have happened, I would have not learned a huge, valuable lesson that I needed to learn before I started this current path that I'm on now. So when your challenges, I call them jabberwockies, which that's another one video that'll be coming at some point. When these jabberwockies arise in your life, they're there for a reason. And it's what you do with it and what you do with the lesson that you learn from it that's going to make a difference for you.
Fall in line. All those hard line things that either they do it my way or they have to be locked up.
Right.
There's nothing in between. That's the third dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Other people are halfway between the third and the fourth, which means they see that in the fourth they have the ability to not say right or wrong, but to say this is the situation, and you know what? I've got about 12 choices I can make here. So I'm going to look at them and pick out the one that resonates with me, and that's the one I'm going to make.
Okay.
Because that's what's going to work best for you. And when you're making choices, even though it sounds selfish, you have to make them based on how that resonates with you, no matter what anybody else wants.
Right.
Because that's the one that's going to work for you.
Right, and that's pretty much what I have been doing. It's where am I coming from and what's my understanding of it, and that's right. Yeah.
And that's fourth dimension. So you have people in the fourth dimension that really don't give much of a crap about what's going on down there because they know they can't affect it, and it doesn't affect them anyway.
Right.
But then you have these people between the third and the fourth, and they've seen the horizon. They see
That is one of the biggest things that I push here from Orion to Virgo is you have to be responsible and make your own choices. Nobody can force you to do something. Nobody can force you what to think. Nobody can force you to how you feel. You need to go by you and what your vibes are telling you and what you are interpreting for your truths, and then turn around and live them. Those are your responsibility to do.
The opportunity to feel good, to live good in that fourth dimension, they're not quite there yet, because they want to fight with the people in the third dimension and say, you're wrong. Look at what I'm telling you. Look at what I found. Look at what I've discovered.
Yeah.
And the people in the third dimension are going, no, you can't have my property. You can't have my money. You can't, these people are not asking for any of that, but this is what these people are hearing.
Right.
Okay? So that's why we have so much of this going on right now. And a lot of that, there's nothing you can do about. It has to be. That is the way that mankind has to move forward.
Right.
Eventually, all those old constructs are going to fall apart. People are going to realize that you don't hit people with clubs and use rubber bullets and all this
Words of wisdom, people. Words of wisdom.
crap that we've been doing. You don't have to do that. You don't have to go out in the street and loot and throw rocks at cops, and you don't have to do that. When we all get in the fourth dimension, all that's gone. So the construct of you have to use violence to control people, it's going to go away.
Yeah.
Might take a while. We think of time very, short time. We always want short time. Atlantis was populated by very peaceful people who were very forward-thinking and thought of community, who honored people in other countries that were indigenous to those countries, even though they weren't as advanced and all that. They honored their way of life.
I laughed at that whole comment about smacking people because I personally think that violence is just completely ridiculous, and I don't understand why people do that to each other. I don't laugh at a way to be disrespectful or anything like that. I laugh at it because I don't understand it, and because I don't understand people treating each other that way. That's the way my mind goes to. I can't process. I will say also with this, violence is never the answer for any reason. There are so much better ways to get your point across than to hurt somebody. We are all human beings. We all belong here. We all matter. We all have a mission. And that's another thing that I promote heavily here on From Orion to Virgo. I am behind this movement 100%. I am behind any movement where people need to uncover the darkness of the injustices that are being done to stop them. Do I think it's a good idea to go and loot? No. Do I think it's a good idea to destroy property? No. But not everybody's going to think the way that I do, and that does not make their feelings any less valid. But I support you. I support you 100%. I'm there. Like I said, I'm a child of a gay parent. My dad came out. I was 16 when he came out, so I'm thinking that had to have been 97 or 98. 97, 98. I think I was a junior in high school when that happened. But anyway, we faced a lot of backlash and a lot of stuff with that too. So, come on, people. When are we going to start treating people right? That's all I got to say about that. I can't say too much more about it.
And they were overthrown by a group of people who came in, who seemed to be nice people, who were very persuasive, sounded logical, sounded like they were right. But these are people who wanted to control.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a thing called a satellite. It was like a satellite that they used to get energy. That's where they got energy from. And these people wanted to take control of that satellite and kind of make it a Death Star.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to get rid of all these indigenous people because they weren't as complex, or they weren't as technological as they were. And they did that, and when they introduced that kind of energy into that satellite, it just dissolved because it couldn't handle negative energy.
Okay.
And that was the downfall of Atlantis. It took 5,000 years.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So when we say that we have this shift, and some people are here, some people are here, some people are here, this isn't going to change tomorrow.
No, this is going to take a while.
It's going to take a long time, you know. And we are here because we volunteered to be here in this time to experience this. But it's not going to happen in my lifetime. It may happen in yours because you're a little younger. It may not, but we're always going to get closer to that, you know. And eventually all those other ideas.
What she's saying here is basically the evolutionary change that we're going through right now, and whether if you guys realize this or not, we are going through an evolutionary change. We are moving from the third, fourth dimension into the fourth, fifth dimension. That is what you're seeing right now. There's uncovering of darkness that has to go along with that, and it's not going to be something that's going to be done in a snap of a finger tomorrow. It's going to take a while for people to wake up and acclimate themselves to a higher understanding and a higher vibrational rate. So know that that is what is happening, and that started with the lemon virus, and has now moved into rioting and acts of violence and things like that. All I'm going to tell you is just to keep an eye out and watch what's going to happen over the next year, year and a half. There's some things that are going to be exposed that are going to blow y'all's minds like you never even would have believed. I just fell down a rabbit hole not too long ago that has my mind like reeling, like how could I have not known this? So yeah, just buckle up, Buttercup, because we're in for a ride.
Go away. Yeah. Somewhere in the future somebody's going to say, did they really used to spank children? You know?
Yeah.
As if, you know, that's like, why would somebody ever do that? Yeah, that's fourth dimension.
Yeah.
You have an influence in your life that's like a grandfather.
Yes, we all signed up and volunteered to be here at this time in the planet for this ascensional shift. Whether you realize that or not, you're here for a reason. You chose to be here for a reason.
Influence is very strong. You see the mountains? This was a man that was very stable and strong. Okay. And he still exerts some control over your family in a very benevolent way. There is no spirit, no angel, no force anywhere that can do anything to us that we don't want.
Right.
So, whatever influence he has, it's a positive influence that members in your family accept because they recognize it as positive energy. They don't know that he's there. Your mom doesn't know he's there. Your dad doesn't know he's there, but he's there.
Okay, I have an idea who I think.
I just want to insert a note here. When we were doing this reading, there weren't any sirens going off in the room, but there's sirens on the audio, so I'm sure there's a message in there somewhere. I don't know, maybe it'll hit me in a day or two when I'm not thinking about it, because they do that to me sometimes too.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So there is a presence in your home life of this man, and he has that positive energy, and it is stability.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, let's get stable, let's get secure. You know, let's get and do what we need to do every day and build up towards things. And so, but again, he can't make anyone do that, but just having that energy kind of inspires that kind of thing.
I know he's there. She is talking about my grandfather. She is talking about my grandfather. I did a video called something with the fear of death. I'll link it in the description, but that was all about being there when he transitioned into spirit. And like I said in that video, I know when he's around. He shows himself to me in different ways. Sometimes I don't realize that it's him, but I know he's here. He's always watching and doing what he can to help us out. So yeah, that's my grandfather.
As a younger person, you're going to hear something really good about. you're going to hear good news about. I hate to put it this way. It's good news to you, but this is where the justice is going to come from.
Okay.
So it might not be good news for them, but it'll be good news for you.
And that's going to come from a younger person?
Yeah. Younger than you.
Okay.
That's going to be...
Yes, he very much is a stabilizing force in our family. He always has been. He was the strong and silent type. So you can see that he's still exerting that within our little immediate family we've got here.
One of the people who karma is going to affect. And they're going to be sitting around going, I didn't know anything. Yes, you did. You relied on people.
I know exactly who it is.
You know,
I know exactly who it is.
but they will never, they may know in the back of their mind, but they would never vocalize that they did anything wrong. Mm-hmm. And they have absolutely no clue that one thing is connected to the other.
Okay.
Absolutely no clue. So, it so the thing is, you can't talk to them about it. You can't...
What she's talking about goes back to the justice card. I have a pretty good idea who's going to come forth. But again, I don't want to release that information on here because it's still too sensitive, even though it was a year and a half, 2 years ago. Probably close to 3 years now. I don't even know. That wound is still there. And I'm still trying to heal that. So, yeah, that's just not a topic that I want to bring here. So...
expect, like I said, an apology or anything like that because they don't understand. What you will get in a spiritual way is your world will come more in balance. Where you think it was out of balance for so long, it's going to come back into balance and it'll just be easier.
Right.
Your sense of well-being will just be serene.
Yeah, it's already headed that way.
Yeah. So that's good. Lovers is not, I just noticed something about this card. I think I saw it on Facebook. But here's the angel. Mm-hmm. The angel of love. Dispersing love. Mm-hmm. Okay, where's the woman looking at? She's looking at the angel. The guy's looking at her.
Symbology saying that women are angels.
Well,
yeah.
That men look to women for nurturing, which we know. But women look to higher powers.
Yes, my well-being has been kind of out of balance, but I have been working hard to bring that in. That is a big thing with healing processes and traumas that a lot of people don't realize is, if you just back it off and put it on a plate way in the back. All right, sorry about that. We had a little break in transmission here, and I had to stop because the file was too high. Mama needs a vlogging camera instead of a phone camera. So we had a quick costume change, ate some dinner, so let's get back on here. Unfortunately, I lost my thought of where we were at, so I can't comment where we were just at because it's gone. So let's see where we're at.
That's why a lot of the older indigenous tribes and stuff, their medicine people, were all women. Mm-hmm. Because they felt women were closer to the spirits than men were.
Oh, yeah. That would make sense.
Mm-hmm. So, do not despair. Your husband will come on board.
Oh, he already is.
He just ain't going to be as much as you are.
Right.
But he's going to be on board.
Yeah.
Mine is too. I got my husband watching ghost stories on TV. I'm like, the ones where they go in and they have the electrical readings and stuff. I'm like, what are you watching? He goes, oh, it's a metaphysical.
It's a metaphysical thing.
It's a metaphysical channel. That's what he said. It's a metaphysical channel. All they show are ghost showings. I'm like,
you mean the travel channel?
I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. I'm like, that's good, honey.
You gotta love Mrs. C's wisdom. She's got so much of it.
Keep that up. I'm like, it took you 5 years to get to that point, but at least you acknowledge the fact that there are spirits.
Can I take pictures of those cards?
Yes.
Yes, my husband is, I don't want to say he's a non-believer because he's not. But of course, over the years being with me and seeing what I've done in my growth and my spirituality and what my beliefs are, his eyes have opened up a little bit more. So he has not officially told me what his views are, and I don't push him for that because that's for him to come to terms with. But he is a huge support for me. He is the one that has been pushing me to do these videos, along with Spirit. He is the one that is pushing me through seminary, making sure that I make that a priority in my life, because he knows how important that is and where this eventually is going to go. When it does come to my chapel that I'm a part of, he is 100% there backing me every way. And if I need his help with something, he's always right there with me. So that's why I was saying earlier, him and I are a perfect partnership, and we create an even bigger whole than we already are separately. So that was my reading with Mrs. C. I can tell you I absolutely adore and love her. She is a great teacher, and I am very blessed and lucky to have her in my life, along with all of my other spirit mamas. She has a very gentle, loving way around her, and you know, she's just one of those souls that you can't help but love and feel comfortable with right away. The cool thing about Miss C and I is that we're in seminary together. She actually is 1 semester ahead of me. So not only do I get to have my spiritual teacher with me and I get to room with her when we're there together, but if I need some guidance, she's always there for me. And just like if she needs a question or guidance about something, I'm there for her. So it's a really cool friendship that we have together. And I'm, like I said, grateful for her and all of my spirit mamas. And they all know who they are. Some of them watch me, some of them don't, but you know, to each their own. So yeah, it's a good thing. Things are always changing and evolving. Words of wisdom. I hope you guys have caught some really cool words of wisdoms for yourself. I did not know anything about Atlantis, but it does not surprise me that Mrs. C would know that, considering I have a feeling she lived there at one point. So yeah, take it what it is. I hope this has inspired you maybe to go out and get your own reading to see what maybe the cards and Spirit have to say for you. Like I said, we did Spirit Fest over the weekend, and I was doing Reiki and Smoke Billet and readings, doing a session with all 3 of those together. So it was very tiring, and I was exhausted yesterday. So this video is supposed to be coming out on the 13th, but here it is. Almost 6 o'clock Sunday night, and none of it is edited or ready to go. So you guys probably won't see this until next week because my work week starts tonight. I do work overnights, so I'll be working overnight tonight all the way up until Thursday morning, and then Thursday morning I get off and I go to my second job for a couple hours with that individual that I support there. So you guys probably won't be seeing this video till next weekend. So next weekend you guys will be getting a twofer. Well, next weekend, which would be the weekend that you guys are viewing this on, if this makes any sense. As always, you know, never stop questioning, never stop seeking, and never stop growing. You guys have a wonderful night.